Alright, so welcome to the third video in the series. We have already designed our layout of our rooms. We decided what size we want them to be, where our doors and windows are gonna go, and everything. And then we have basically produced a sketch in AutoCAD, a proper sketch in AutoCAD in the last video. So now I'm going to put this on a piece of paper. This should take us a few minutes. Um, this is not going to be anything fancy. Just going to put it on a piece of paper so we can print it off if we need to. All right, so first thing down here, right now we are in our model space. This is where we draw our building or whatever object in. We draw our model in this space. The paper space is what we call a layout. So if I click on that, it's going to show me this in our paper space. This is not set up as yet, although it looks good and you think you can just print this is not right because this paper, the sheet is really large. So we want to change the size of the paper to whatever size you want it to be, letter size, legal size, A4, whatever, you know. Um, and then we are going to print it, be able to save it as a PDF to be printed later. So first things first, let's right click and change the name. So let's call this um, floor plan sketch, and then I'm going to go I'm going to delete this right now. This is our viewport that is giving us, is like a portal that we're looking into to see the model space on a piece of paper. So if we delete that, we just have the blank piece of paper, and then we will put back the viewport after. You will see in a second. All right, so right click, and then we go to page setup manager. We can see the name that we just changed it to, and we hit modify. So now we can see all the different settings here. First thing we want to change, how do we want to print it? Do we want to print it directly to a printer right now? No, I want to save it as a PDF so that I can print it later. So if I go to Microsoft Print to PDF, and then I come down here to paper size, I'm going to select I'm going to select letter for now, and then the scale we're going to leave it as 1 to 1, but we need to change it again because when we change this from inches, remember we're using metric, so millimeters, see the scale goes to custom, so we want to change it back to 1 to 1. Next up here, we want to change this to monochrome. That's going to make sure that although we have all these colored lines, we're going to make sure it comes out in black and white. Alright, so monochrome. All of these can stay the way they are, and we're going to make sure it's on landscape. It's already there by default. And then we hit OK. So I'm just going to close this for now. Now we need to create the viewport so that we can see the drawing. Now, as I said, a viewport is like a portal that we are putting over the paper so that we could see the drawing in the model space. The viewport gives us a view into the model space from the paper. Okay, so this is what we want to see, but we want to see it on the paper. So we're going to go to let's see, layout up here. This is the very last one, last tab, and then we're going to create a rectangular viewport. So I'm going to select rectangular, and I'm going to, we can just simply click in this corner and click on that in the bottom right corner, but it will not be directly at the edges of the paper. Now for the sake of this drawing, it does not have to be directly at the edges of the paper, but I want it to be. It will be necessary later on when we start doing title blocks and stuff like that. But in order for us to know where the edge of the paper is, because if you notice there are no snaps that show up on the paper space, there's nothing that's going to snap to the edge of the paper, so we have to know precisely where the edge of the paper is. So how do we know that? We need to know the dimensions of the paper. So if I go back to the page setup manager, I can see right here the plot size is 215.9 times 279.4. This is the size of this paper. It is 215.9 high by 279.4 wide. So I can remember that, I hope. We are going to, sorry, we don't need to go here anymore. We are going to put in a viewport using the rectangle tool. Now clicking, instead of clicking, we are going to type in the points where we want to draw this rectangle. So the first point, the bottom left corner, as always, is always 0, 0. When I hit enter, you can see it snapped. You can see it snap to the bottom left corner like so. And now I'm going to draw. I'm going to put the point for the other end. If you remember what it was 215.4 by 215.9 by 279.4, right? So this one is going to be, I'm going to do the width first, 279.4 comma 215.9, enter. And there we go. It created a viewport directly around the size of the paper, and now we can see the image of the drawing on the inside. Let me just zoom in, and you notice it put it at the exact distance it needs to be to show the drawing. All right. If yours does not do that because of different versions, what I suggest you do is double click on the inside. Now make sure to zoom out first and double click on the inside. Click. So now if you roll the wheel, you can zoom in or zoom out to show the drawing at a better scale. Now we don't care about the scale right now. It's just so that we could see this on a piece of paper and we could reproduce the actual floor plan that will be to scale. All right, so that's it for this drawing. If you want to get out of the space, you can double click on the outside. So now you can zoom in and out like that. All right, to print it or to save it as a PDF to print later, we right click, plot, and we can see how it looks first before we actually try to print it. Yeah, looking good. Good night. Nice. All right. Yeah. So let's go to plot up here and then decide where we want to save it. I'm going to just save it on my desktop and call it floor plan sketch. Same name as it is in my layout area. And just hit save. Good. So it should be here on my desktop. When I open it up, it's showing up in my browser if I don't have a default PDF viewer. And there we go. We have our drawing right here. All right. Yeah, so that's it. In the next video, we're going to be actually creating the floor plan from this sketch. So I'll see you in the next video.